Welcome back to 5-Minute Life Hacks. This is your host, Natalia Ambrosia, coming at you from Puerto Escondido, Mexico. I'm traveling, I've got a new mic, so welcome to my Airbnb. If you're new here, I'm a health coach, and each week I give you 5-minute life hacks to help you live your best life. Now let's get started by taking a deep inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Today's episode is about therapy, my experience with therapy, and my tips for getting the most out of your therapy experience. I'm really passionate about this topic, so I've had this conversation several times. And in my experience, there are usually 3 different types of people listening. Number 1, you either are going through therapy or have been through therapy, and so you understand why people get therapy. Number 2, you understand that people get therapy, but you don't quite feel like it's for you. Number 3, you don't really understand why people get therapy and you don't feel like it's for you. Now, whatever bucket you're sitting in, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you for being open and for being here. So thank you. I have been in and out of therapy for the last 10 years. I've had several different types of therapies and therapists. And so for the purposes of this episode, since it's a short one, I'm going to talk about a few things that always come up before getting through to the tips. So the first thing that always comes up is shame around therapy. People often feel like you need to have something really wrong with you, or you need to be crazy to have therapy. But that is not the case. So many different people from so many different walks of life, experiencing so many different things, go to therapy, and it is a place where you have a trained professional there to listen to you and give you an unbiased opinion and help you get through things and transitions in life faster. I often joke with my friends that it'd be great if I could have a therapist all the time, because it's just so lush and luxurious having someone there that you have a good relationship with to listen to you and to give you feedback, and who's a trained professional. So everybody should have a therapist, I feel. Number 2 is that there are so many different types of therapies. The most common one is obviously talk therapy, somebody sitting in front of you or in the screen in front of you, listening, asking questions, taking notes. And that is not for everyone. Talking is not for everyone. I know for me, I've had talk therapy for the most part, and it's been useful, but there's been other times in my life where other types of therapy, like cognitive behavioral therapy, where, if you're having anxiety and you look at the triggers that are triggering that and causing your brain to react in a certain way, and so you work backwards to figure out how to retrain your brain. Or there's music therapy or art therapy or somatic therapy, where you locate what feelings you're having in your body and try to work through them. So it may be worth you looking into the different types of therapies, even if talk therapy is not for you. Number 3 is that not all therapists are created equal. Just like you have relationships with partners or friends, a therapist is a relationship you need to build. Not only do you have to figure out what type of therapy works for you, but you also have to find a therapist that you connect with. And that might take you several tries. So even if you've experienced therapy before, it might have been not the right type of therapy and not the right therapist for you. I know I've had to go through like 5 different therapists before finding one therapist that I really like. And lastly, something that always comes up is, well, I have a partner, or I have family, or I have friends, I don't need a therapist. And I have a ton of family and a ton of great friends that can help me, but a therapist and those relationships are 2 different things. You definitely need friends and family along with therapy, but it's not the same. A therapist is a trained professional who's there and who has an unbiased opinion and who can dedicate that energy to you. Friends and family might not always have the capacity or the energy to help you through certain situations, and you may not also want to burden them with all that energy. So a therapist can be a great tool to have in addition to your friends and family. And now my tips for getting the most out of therapy is to, number 1, make a list of everything that you're looking for in therapy, everything you'd like to work through, the type of therapist you'd want, and the type of therapy that you would want. Next, I would want you to find out how you're going to get therapy. Are you going to pay for it? Is it going to be through insurance? Or are you going to use another party? I use BetterHelp. It's an app that is great because it is income-based, and you can also enter in all that information, like what type of therapist you're looking for, write a blurb, what type of therapy, and they match you with a therapist within 24 hours. I also really like that if you talk to a therapist and they don't quite work for you, you can decide to change therapists, which is a really useful tool. So use code 5-Minute Life Hacks for 10% off. I really wanted to get you a code, and in order to do that, I have to say this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, even though all words in this episode are mine and I've been using them for 2 years. Now, once you've figured out how you're going to get therapy, once you have started looking for a therapist, I'm going to put a few links down below apart from BetterHelp. You're going to want to try a therapist because remember, not all therapists are created equal. You might have to go through a few different therapists in order to find one that you really connect with. Once you start working with the therapist, you can keep talking to them and keep making lists of things that come up for you and have a clearer vision of what your goals are and what you want to work through. Now, as always, I love hearing from you. I know this episode was jam-packed, but please message me at Natalia Ambrosi on Instagram. Let me know how it goes. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of light.